Hey, Dena here. I hate making videos like this, but a YouTube thing happened, and I feel like I should talk about it. However inherently pointless it may be. I was actually hoping I would end up with good news in this video, but spoiler, that's not the case. So a bit of background first. You guys might remember that sometime last year I started a Let's Play series on Soul Reaver, and my first video got a copyright claim by someone who is obviously not IDOS or Cleopatra Records or anyone else who owns any aspect of the Legacy of Kain series. The song they were claiming even had a different title. I do a quick YouTube search on that title, and what came up was the audio of the opening FMV of Soul Reaver with a random image and a different title. So this is obviously someone committing fraud. These people uploaded this video for the purpose of pretending that they own the rights to the content so they could steal ad revenue from anyone who used the opening FMV of Soul Reaver in their video. This is a common thing that I think I just didn't catch on to until this situation. So whenever you get a copyright claim, do a quick search to make sure that the people who are making the claim actually own the thing they're claiming. Sometimes big companies like Universal do hire another company to handle their copyright claims on YouTube. So sometimes you will see a different company, but a quick internet search on that company will tend to show whether they represent the company that owns the thing. And if it's clearly fraud, like in the case of my Soul Reaver video, definitely contest it. Since they don't actually own the thing, they can't sue you over it, so there's no way you'll lose. But the thing is, I just hate that these people exist and that this is such a common problem. Such a blatant abuse of the system that everyone seems to know about, but YouTube isn't doing anything about it. I tried reporting these people. There is a way to flag YouTube accounts, but of course it's all automated and you have to choose from a list of grievances. The closest I could find is spam and scams, which I'm sure is only for bots who respond to multiple comments with a link to some shady website. But again, this was the closest I could find. And of course, no action was taken. For the record, one of my viewers did take it upon themselves to alert IDOS about the video, but apparently nothing came of it because that video is still up and people are still getting false copyright claims because of it. So sometime between then and now, I was watching someone's video who had the same issue as me, but in his case, he managed to report the person and get that video taken down. As I recall, I don't remember all the details. But he recommended someone on the YouTube staff who has a Twitter account, and you can contact this guy directly with an issue like this and he'll look into it. So I thought, okay, if something like the Soul Reaver issue pops up again, I'm gonna try contacting this guy and see if I can maybe get something done about these people who are committing fraud. Sure enough, last week I uploaded a stream where I had Silent Hill music playing in the background and the volume was a little loud, and so 2 of the songs were claimed, each by a different company. So here's what they're claiming it is. If you watch my video, not only can you hear that this is One More Soul to the Call from Silent Hill Homecoming. Oh, I'm up to... Whoops. But you can see it in my Winamp. But if you do a search on what they're claiming it is... What the fuck is this? Oh, there it is. They made a 6.5-minute long generic sounding piece of dance music so they could stick a piece of One More Soul to the Call in the middle of it with minimal editing so they could leech revenue off of any video that has that song in it. And even if this is someone's attempt at a remix or whatever, they still don't have the rights to the original song and have no right to make copyright claims on videos that obviously have that song in it and not their version. So what about the second one? Oh, this is I Want Love studio mix from Silent Hill 3. Again, you can see it in my Winamp. But that's not the song they're claiming it is, so let's do a search and see what this one sounds like. Oh, this one kicks in at only 27 seconds in. Listen to this shit! They aren't even trying to make it sound like a legitimate remix of some kind. They're clearly just blending the Silent Hill song with some other tune to try to make it look like it's their own, but they don't match up at all and it sounds like utter shit. They didn't even try. So at first, since I just didn't want to deal with it, I just disputed both of them. But that second one actually upheld their claim, so I am now appealing that one. So at this point, I decided to try to report these people. But first I decided to try testing the waters by letting them know about the Soul Reaver video, because people have been getting copyright claims on that one for a year, and I just think that's shitty, and I'd like to see some justice. So I send the guy a message about that video. I link to the video and I point out that it's just the audio from the opening FMV to Legacy of Kain's Soul Reaver, and they have been using it to falsely claim Let's Play videos and such for over a year, as you can tell from the comments. Can something be done about them? I know we can dispute the claim, but it's really frustrating that this video is still up and apparently nothing is being done about it. Well, 2 days go by and no response, and I realize he could be busy, so I'm not upset about it yet. I think this might have actually been the point where I had to appeal that second one, so I decided to send him a similar message about that one. I linked to the video that I found through the search that I just told you guys about, and I also linked to a video for the original song in case he isn't familiar with Silent Hill music, and explained that they're using that to falsely claim one of my videos that has Silent Hill music in it. So he asks if it's content ID or manual, and are they monetizing or removing? Which is kind of off topic because this isn't about my account. I'm trying to report someone else's video and how they're using it to cheat the system. But I'm like, okay, he's just trying to get all the facts, whatever. And then he asks me how I know it's not the rights holder issuing the notices, despite that I basically told him how I know in the first message. But okay, this guy's giving me his time, so I'm gonna play by the rules and just answer whatever questions he has. And I guess I didn't mention monetizing in the first place, so I specify that they are monetizing it, and I point out that the Soul Reaver soundtrack is owned by Cleopatra Records. Technically Ozar Midrashim is, but this is close enough. And I include a link to the page on IMDb. And that the Silent Hill 3 soundtrack is owned by Konami Music Entertainment, with a link to the Silent Hill wiki with all that information. Also, I tell him to look at the videos, and I point out again that the original one is the audio from the opening FMV of Soul Reaver, yet they don't mention Soul Reaver or the name of the actual song, Ozar Midrashim, and are calling it something else with a random image. And for the second one, they play another song on top of the track from Silent Hill 3, I Want Love Studio Mix, and they are calling it something else with no mention of Silent Hill, etc. So he asks for screenshots of the claims. Again, not sure how that's supposed to help. I guess he needs proof that I actually got these claims. Whatever, it's an easy thing to provide, so I do. So he comes back and points out what I mentioned above with my Universal example, that companies sometimes hire other companies to handle their copyright claims on YouTube, and that's all this looks like to him, and says, quote, "This doesn't look sketchy." This doesn't look sketchy. Now this is the point where I'm starting to get mad. I can already tell that he's not really paying attention because I've already had to repeat myself, and I hate doing that already. Also, this is private messaging, so if anything I said was unclear, he could just scroll up and reread it. But I keep going because I think that maybe I can get through to this guy. I point out, again, they're claiming that these are different songs than they are, and when you look up the titles, you find versions of the songs that are edited slightly. This is clearly fraud. Can't someone look into the info of these channels and find out who owns them? And that's the kicker right there. YouTube needs to require that these people prove that they own this media that they are making claims on, because obviously it's too damn easy for any old schmo off the street to claim a song they don't own and get free money out of it. Of course, I didn't say all of that because I'm still trying to be polite and pretending to be patient. But I was hoping that maybe I could get this guy to at least agree to look into this instead of just assume I'm lying or stupid, which is what he was doing. So this is it. He links to the exact YouTube video I linked to before, and because the title is the same title they claimed, he thinks this is totally legit. And this is probably the point where I got so frustrated I thought I was gonna cry. I'm not going to pretend to be patient and just be direct. No, it isn't. This is not the music I had playing. So I link to I Want Love Studio Mix again, and then I add, just because they re-uploaded it with the title they used to make the claim doesn't mean they own the original song. So he says, well, it's probably a cover then. No abuse here, can't help you. So I guess if you do a cover of a song, you now own the original version of it and can demand money from anyone else who uses the original song. Good to know. So yeah, I really tried to put my money where my mouth is, and instead of just screaming into a void with rant videos, I genuinely tried to do something about this, and it was a complete waste of time. I guess his acting like he'd never heard of this sort of thing before should have tipped me off, but it's so rare to be able to talk to an actual person when it comes to YouTube, I really hoped it would go somewhere. and I wouldn't expect anyone from YouTube to admit that they know about this issue and just don't care about it. But I guess I was hoping for an answer along the lines of, let us know which channels are causing this problem and we'll look into it, instead of, oh well, it's probably nothing, so I'm not gonna do shit about it. I mean, yeah, I don't exactly have hardcore evidence, but it's not really fair to expect someone like me to have access to that unless I hacked into their accounts, but that would also be illegal. But I have a really hard time believing that someone with common sense could look at this situation and think it doesn't look sketchy. If nothing else, it clearly looks sketchy, and it's worth looking into. God, I felt like I was being gaslit. Look at this blatant problem. I don't see a problem, you're just imagining things. Okay, well, that's how I spent my week. I really would like to do something about this issue of people uploading others' music so they can make false copyright claims and steal revenue, but I'm out of ideas as to how to do that. The WTFU movement helped to implement the change in how revenue is handled, so that helps for those of us who pay attention and make it a point to dispute these claims. But not everyone does that, so these people are still getting away with committing fraud. And I guess YouTube doesn't care, and that makes them look really bad. Maybe we need to start a new movement along the lines of WTFU, but I'm not a big enough YouTuber to spearhead it. So if there are any big YouTubers who happen to see this video and are interested in doing that, I'd be more than happy to help spread the word, but I don't think I could do it alone. And if anyone has any other ideas about how to report these people, please let me know. Because I just can't get past the fact that there's no easy way to report these people. There's gotta be something that could be done about this. In the meantime, like I said, even if you don't normally care about losing revenue in fair use situations, whenever you get a copyright claim, just do a couple quick Google searches and find out if it's legit. And if it's not, dispute it. Every single time. Let's not let these people continue to do illegal shit and get away with it, even if YouTube won't do anything about it. So again, sorry about the rant, but I just wanted to share that experience. On the upside, maybe we can figure out something we can do about it. That's it for now, and I'm gonna go get drunk.